it's Eva here. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to a brand new Sims 4 speed build / slightly old, but we'll get into that in a second. Before I delve into this build, I have some news to share. Very exciting news actually, because recently I have become part of the EA Creator Network, which has been a dream of mine for so many years, and I finally am part of it now, which is just beyond exciting to me. I'm really looking forward to any future opportunities, future packs that we can delve into and explore and all those things. So yeah, that is major news, but this video is not yet to do with the EA Creator Network. I'm waiting for the new pack to come out whenever that may be, and then I'm excited to share some builds, and hopefully there will be new packs very soon. But yeah, I just wanted to share that bit of news because I'm very excited. But let's delve into this build now, because since recently the Sims 4 released the castle kit, I thought this build would actually be perfect, as it's kind of that style in terms of the architecture. So yeah, we're building a British manor, like a beautiful countryside estate in the English countryside, obviously, duh. And it's just really interesting in terms of architecture to me, this build, because I decided to go for a Gothic exterior this time with beautiful huge windows, which I'll again go into in a bit. So this build is actually something I built last year already and never managed to upload for some reason, because it just takes me 3,500 years to get out one video. But yeah, this is actually a build that I created last year when I was in the mood for like a country estate and like a beautiful elegant manor, which is why, if you're wondering, a lot of the CC is quite old and I'm not using much new CC. That is why. I would obviously love to use all the new CC that all my favorite creators have brought out recently, but yeah, because this is an old recording, I am mainly using old stuff, but still beautiful. Honestly, again, my favorite creators, they only make beautiful CCs, so can't go wrong there. But yes, this is a Gothic British manor, and it has this kind of castle-esque vibe about it, which is why I really thought it would be the perfect time to post it now. And I'm so excited to share it with you because it's, I think, one of my favorite builds I've ever made. It's made of sandstone and has lots of Gothic features, like all the Gothic doors and doorways and architraves and windows. And one of my favorite details of this build is the huge mezzanine, which is to the left of the front door, with these big gigantic windows reaching across 2 floors, which yeah is one of my favorite rooms of the house, and I can't wait for you to see the interior. So when we get to the kitchen, that's when you have to pay attention about this. And this lot is actually on the biggest lot in the British inspired world of Henford-on-Bagley, which is obviously the perfect backdrop and background for this build. It's a huge lot, and I wanted it to feel like really stately and like grand and impressive. So we've got a massive driveway leading up to the manor, all overgrown. It's still like looked after, but I wanted it to look a little bit dreamy, a bit fairytale-esque. So it's very grown over with lots of ivy and beautiful flowers surrounding it, and all in like beautiful spring colors and pastel-y colors. And yeah, I just wanted to have this this really British summertime or springtime atmosphere here. I'm dreaming of the spring and summer. Can't wait to be done with this bloody winter. But yeah, so I wanted it to look quite like Sleeping Beauty-esque on the exterior, just really dreamy and just, yeah, absolutely beautiful. And I'm so happy with how it turned out. It's very detailed. There's a lot of rooms. There's a lot going on the interior as well. We've got loads of bedrooms. We've got a library. We've got this beautiful mezzanine kitchen that I already teased. And yeah, so let's go on into the interior, because it might not be what you expect when you look at the exterior. I really wanted this to be like a British countryside interior, And without it being too traditional or anything like that though, with my typical Eva twist, you know, I love combining the old and the new. So for example, we've got this beautiful traditional parquet flooring, and then these lime wash walls, which are my favorite ever, and they're from Harry. Like, I use them probably in every build. Yeah, those like lime wash walls are just absolute chef's kiss, and I think they bring a kind of contemporary modern side to this build, with the old traditional windows and the more modern maybe furnishings. I think I would still say it's like a mixture of some more vintage pieces of furniture and then some more modern style pieces. And the color palette for this house is actually quite interesting. My favorite two colors, so it's a lot of terracotta, which you'll see especially on the ground floor, and then also a lot of green, which I think especially comes through in the kids' rooms later on. But yeah, the terracotta, definitely like this warm, really inviting, homely color, which I think is actually perfect for the countryside. And yeah, the green obviously bringing the outside in. And yeah, then we have 2 living rooms and 1 grand dining room, and off of the dining room is the kitchen, which, like I said before, is probably my favorite room. It is a mezzanine, so it is open, meaning it like covers 2 floors. There is a little walkway on the top floor where you can basically look down onto the kitchen, and you have these huge, beautiful glass windows, and they're just the feature of this room. So I didn't want them to be kind of covered or only halfway in the room. I really don't like that look. I really wanted them to be the full gigantic windows. So I left it open, made a mezzanine out of this kitchen, and added a cute little banquette dining area in that corner by the windows. And it's just the most dreamy area, in my opinion. Like, I would love to just get up in the morning and have a cup of tea there, sit there, look through. It's stunning morning light in that room as well, so it's just flooded with sunlight, and it's just, yeah, absolutely dreamy. And the kitchen I also really like. I love the kind of combination of stone with timber. So we've got the timber kitchen from Pierre Sim, and then this stone island from Charlie Pancakes, which I probably use in every build as well. But I love the combination of it. And you might have noticed that I've been using these beautiful light fittings from Felixander. I think they bring this like traditional element that you just, you know, you don't want to overload it, make it fully traditional, because British countryside interiors can become very traditional very quickly. And I just wanted to have a bit of the traditional, but also keep it quite modern and interesting. Yeah, as my usual interior design style is. Oh, and also one of the pieces that I really love in this building is actually the Gothic fireplace, which is also from Felixander. And I put that in the kitchen there just to be, for it to be kind of like a little kind of reminder of maybe that was the old, back in the day, that was the old kind of kitchen, and they left that piece of the house that is still an original part. So yeah, again, I love just like keeping old characteristics of a house and combining that with more modern contemporary furnishings. And then moving on to my second favorite room probably is the library, which again is the mezzanine. So the mezzanine at the top connects the kitchen and the library, so you can walk from one room to the next when you're on the mezzanine. And yeah, the library, I wanted it to feel super like Hogwarts-esque, with a lot of bookshelves cluttered with books and beautiful sculptures and statues and plants. And yeah, I just wanted it to feel really inviting, and you go into this library and you don't want to leave for hours and hours because you're just browsing all sorts of books and like getting lost in there. That was the idea, and that's why there's also a little seating corner there and a fireplace to make it more cozy, while also being a study, obviously, with a beautiful traditional desk. But yeah, and one thing I didn't really touch upon is actually the garden, which I again wanted to be quite fairy-tale-esque and quite, yeah, dreamy. So we've got a little seating, like dining seating area under the tree, and at night there's like fairy lights lighting it up really beautifully, and it's just, yeah, just a bit magical. And I do think like when I look at this build, it feels like it's a little bit magical, a little bit different. It's definitely very different to things I've built before, but I genuinely really enjoyed it. And it kind of coincided with this new castle kit, which I didn't manage to get my hands on yet, but yeah, it kind of works. I'm sure like the castle kit, from what I've seen, has this like medieval, almost Gothic-y, like a Sims version of Gothic architecture style. And yeah, so I thought this build would really kind of fit into this aesthetic. It's not a castle, but I guess it's like a mini castle. A lot of the build is actually inspired by one of the most beautiful places in England, which is called Heckfield Place. You can stay there overnight. It's incredibly expensive. I've never been. You can also go for like during the day, and it's just, I've seen so many pictures of it, and the style there is just incredible. It's like this typical British interior that you find in countryside, but it's also made interesting and new with a new modern twist. And that also kind of applies to the master bedroom. So in the master bedroom, the headboard, which is like this freestanding timber headboard, is something that is inspired by Heckfield Place, because one of the bedrooms there has this feature, and I think it must have been the inspiration for this CC pack, which is I think the country set by Harry. I assume that was the inspiration, because it's very similar to that main bedroom there, and I love it really, because it means I get to experience Heckfield Place without having to go and spending thousands and thousands of pounds for one night. So yeah, that room was heavily inspired by Heckfield Place, and yeah, just a really calm, idyllic, natural place for your Sims to stay. And adjacent to that is also the bathroom, which I feel like the exterior of this building is like lots of stone, lots of sandstone, and I really wanted to make use of stone in the interior as well, without it being too cold, because that can always be an issue if you use too much stone on an interior, that it kind of comes across cold. And I wanted to bring in the stone and bring in the architecture without that happening. So we've got this beautiful stone flooring on which I've put this mosaic, which I think is from Felixander's Florence set, and it just kind of fit. Like, it gave that room that is actually quite simple a really interesting character, and it could be like an original feature of the house. And yeah, we've got this kind of bathtub moment, which is on a platform. Just imagine sitting in that bathtub, looking out your beautiful Gothic windows and just enjoying the nature and landscape views that you get from there. It must be absolutely incredible. And what I really wanted to contrast actually was also like the corridors and the landing on the first floor. They're cladded in timber panels, which is very traditional and very typical in Gothic buildings. And I really wanted to bring that paneling in somewhere, because having the lime wash everywhere would just be too much. So yeah, the corridors are these really cozy and traditional looking rooms with the timber panels and this dark timber. We've got sculptures everywhere and paintings, and just yeah, I definitely love the look of these corridors with the art, and you know, just very traditional, but still kind of with a modern twist. It really puts me in that moody, Gothic-y atmosphere in a way. And yeah, and then we have two kids' rooms. So one is a nursery and then one is a double kids' room. The nursery and the kids' room are both quite different to the rest of the house. I really wanted to make use of wallpaper. So we've got this really beautiful wallpaper, which almost looks like a mural, and I love those wallpapers to death. I definitely need more of those. And they're just really like a classy look in a kids' room without it being too like boring and bland. And I believe when I built this manor, it was around the time that the Growing Together pack came out, so I didn't have loads of CC yet for nurseries and for infants, so I didn't really have too much variety at that time. Definitely have way more and way cooler things now for nurseries. But yeah, like I said, it's old, it's last year. But yeah, I really hope you enjoyed watching this video, and I really appreciate everyone who stuck to the end of me waffling on and on and on and on about this build. The tour is still coming up, so I hope, yeah, you'll enjoy watching that, because it's probably my favorite part of the whole video, seeing it all like in perfect position and like from the perfect angle. Excited to see what's to come with me now being part of the EA Creator Network, and I'm sure I'll keep you in the loop on potential new videos. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!